everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, as usual, look down in your settings, look around, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, that algorithm. I really would appreciate it. And also over in the corner there, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my little channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so appreciative, so thankful for that support. Also, if you just want to give a one time donation over on the other side, that's our super thanks button. And all donations to this channel will always be greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read. And as you can see, I'm not showing my face today. Had a long day, but we all know the read has to go on. So what I did was I jumped in these internet streets to get this read together quick, fast, and in a hurry. I was over to Instagram. Of course, the squatties over there are discussing Harry popping up in Vancouver, Canada. And also, I went over to TikTok. Of course, I also was at my new home of Blue Sky. I was over there. The squatties numbers are really starting to grow. I am getting really excited about it. I cannot wait until Blue Sky is my home away from home. I also I did not go over to the dark side. Y'all know me, especially not on Sunday. I do not go over to the dark side. But I landed on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I'm telling you, the squatties are just thrilled. Thrilled about Harry popping up on television in Canada at the Grey Cup. And I'm going to put this up. One of the squatties posted this. They said, Prince Harry surprised football fans Sunday, appearing at the Grey Cup in Vancouver before the Toronto Argonauts took on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He's in Vancouver tomorrow morning in a lead up to the Invictus Games. I cannot wait until the Invictus Games. That's what I was saying yesterday on the podcast. Us squatties, we have a lot to look forward to next year. I'm telling you, our faves are going to be involved in a whole lot of stuff. That court case and the Invictus Games, and who knows what else. Maybe even a trip or two. Who knows? But all I can say is I will be there front row to support. Oh yeah, I forgot. Also, we might get what is it? American Riviera Orchard. We might get a launch on that next year, or maybe even the end of the year. I hadn't gave that up, but I digress. Prince Harry was in Vancouver, and I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this. The only Windsor who can achieve such a reaction from a Commonwealth country. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? Everybody was so excited when they found out that Prince Harry was in the house and they put him on the Jumbotron and his face popped up there. Everybody cheered. They have all different kind of clips on X, formerly known as Twitter, and over on Blue Sky. And I'm telling you, the reaction to Harry is so good. It is. I'm going to put this one up. And it says, one thing about Prince Harry and Meghan, they never get booed. We all know that it's not a person over there that doesn't get booed. when they're not getting booed, the people that they have come to see, or who are there at the engagements that they're doing, is giving them the stank face. I cannot. Every time I think about that, I think of Sophie. When Sophie, I think she was in Chad, Africa. I think she was her last overseas trip she did, and them people in that pictures, all the pictures that came out of that engagement and that particular tour, it was, I'm telling you, those people had the had the I don't care on they just written all over their face. Why are you here? They was giving her the stank face, but not Harry. Everybody, and they're always happy to see Harry. They're always happy to see Meghan. And I just love it. I must say I do. All right, I'm gonna put this one up. It said Prince Harry surprised sports fans with an appearance at the Grey Cup in Vancouver before the Toronto Argonauts took on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. What a cool way to drop some promotion for the Invictus Games, which will be hosted by Vancouver Whistler in February 2025. Okay, I'm going to put this one up, and it is just a picture of Harry and just on the Jumbotron, and people are just screaming and saying, "It's Prince Harry! It's Prince Harry!" And I love it. I love it. I'm seeing a lot of people on Blue Sky and on Twitter that I haven't saw before. So it's a lot of Canadian people who usually post about other things other than Prince Harry is posting about Prince Harry being out at this game. I'm telling you, everybody was just thrilled to have him. And I love this picture. I just absolutely love it. It looks so good. And Prince Harry, I love the way he'll just pop up out of nowhere because it's no leaks in Montecito. And he'll just pop up anywhere. And I just love it. And you know what? I love it for those people across the pond too. Those flying monkeys, those minions, those bootlickers to the royal family. Now they are left to pick up the crumbs. And I just love it. Just gathering up the scraps. And you know what? I see it's growing really old for them. They are really getting tired making do on the scraps, because I have noticed here lately, and I've said it in other podcasts, that it is a growing, consistent drumbeat of them wanting Harry to come back. It's getting louder and louder and louder. I cannot tell you how many articles have been written just here lately, I would say within the past 2 to 3 days, that they are just about begging Harry to come back. And like I said, I love that for them, because these are the same people who insisted on Harry being completely in or completely out. If I heard them say one time, I heard them say 1,000 times, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And so Harry and Meghan said, "Bet, okay, since you don't want us here, we will go and leave and go and bake our own cake." Well, see, what they didn't anticipate was that Harry and Meghan's cake was going to be bigger and more delicious than the one they were serving up over there. Because they really thought they had the winning hand in Kate and William and Charles and Camilla, because they pretty much thought, and you can see from the reporting soon after Harry and Meghan left, they thought that the shine was going to be with the crown. And they were really banking on the fact that it was all about who had the titles, who was the Prince and Princess of Wales, who was the king and queen of the United Kingdom. But it turns out these mediocre people that they hitch their wagon to, nobody's interested in them. They don't know how to figure their way out of a wet paper sack. And here Harry and Meghan are running circles around them. And every time Meghan comes outside, it's an event. And every fashion magazine, every news outlet is covering it. And the same thing with Harry. Harry has his own shine. Every time Harry pops up, like he just popped up at this particular football game, it's all over the place. Twitter is going wild. My timeline is just post after post after post after post of Prince Harry. People I have never ever saw before in my life are posting about Prince Harry because Harry has to shine like that. And because Harry has to shine like that, they are really getting desperate for Harry to come back and Meghan because they know that what they have on their hand over there with Charles and Camilla and William and Kate are a bunch of mediocres that could not draw flies. And so they are starting to really, really feel some kind of way about fumbling the bag and basically left to pick up the scraps and being served dust by Harry and Meghan. They tired of that. And they really want to be in the mix of this international global couple that if they walk out of their door, they're making news. Now, they don't get it twisted. They understand how much money they have lost. They understand how much money they lost fumbling this bag. Because when Harry and Meghan was within the firm, they control everything. They control all of their images and all just everything. Everything had to go through the palaces. And the palaces would go through the rotor. And now they don't get none of that. They don't get anything. Things have happened. They find out things when we find out things. Sometimes the squatties find out things before they do. They be all up in our all up in our Twitter feeds trying to find out what's going on because they have no idea. And I love it for them. And I just went through and looked at some of the articles that have been written about, we're pretty much begging Harry to come back. And the delusion, the level of delusion that these people have after half of a decade should be studied by psychologists because it is just that crazy and off the wall. I have just never saw anything like it. I bet you if I went right now over to the dark side, I could find 4 or 5 panels of people discussing Harry and Meghan just like they left yesterday. And it's been half a decade already. And they still can't move forward. I'm telling you, this derangement needs to be studied. I have never saw anything like it. And like I said, being an American, it's really astonishing to me because we are notorious for moving on. Really, it's really our downfall in a lot of ways because we move on and we don't take in what has happened in the past. We're too busy focusing on moving on. But I tell you one thing, where we move on all the time, evidently the British media really never moves on because it has literally been half a decade. I'm going to put this up. I found this on GB News. And this is one of them. It says Prince Harry signals end to royal rift with King Charles, Prince William following Duke's latest move. And y'all know what they're talking about. They're talking about Harry. Harry's release of his paperback of Spare, which was October 22nd in America and 25th in the UK. We're in November, and they're saying that because he didn't add anything to the paperback, that he chose not to do any press or promotion for the paperback, that he is signaling that the royal rift is over. What Harry is signaling is that he is done. He has put what he wanted to out there. Harry made himself perfectly clear. He said, me and my wife, my family is moving on. And Harry has said that on quite a few occasions that he understands what the deal is when it comes to his family, meaning that he doesn't expect them to accept any kind of accountability, that they are not going to apologize, and he and his wife are just going to move on with their lives because they are just done. And pretty much that's what Harry and Meghan has done. But the British media and evidently the royal family as well, because they continue to plant all these stories in the press and keep this nonsense going. They always look to Harry and Meghan to try to mend a rift that they didn't make. These people over here made the rift. Why are you continuing to look for Harry or Meghan to mend a rift that they did not make? And far as Harry and Meghan are concerned at this point, they are done. They have moved on. They don't even speak of that family anymore. If you didn't know Harry and Meghan belonged to that family or was a part of that family, you never would know. Because Meghan hadn't, I mean, none of their names have slipped out of Meghan's lips in years. And Harry's either. Once he put Spare out, he was done. He hadn't spoken on them at all, except when Charles announced that he had his performative cancer. And when Harry was doing promo for the Invictus Games in Canada, he was asked about Charles soon after it was announced. And Harry absolutely tap danced and gave a non answer to the question. Harry has not spoken on them people. And so, but they cannot keep Harry and Meghan's name out of their mouth. They continue to plant stories and continue to go on panels, and it is Harry and Meghan 24 hours a day over there. Like I said, right now I could go over to the dark side and it would be 4 to 5 panels of people talking about Harry and Meghan. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever saw in my life. And that family over there is so busy with their vision boards, still copying everything that Harry and Meghan does. I mean, it's so embarrassing. Charles coming down those stairs of the opera house, him and his horse over there, just absolutely just cosplaying Harry and Meghan was the most ridiculous thing. And the sad part of it, they didn't know how ridiculous it was. But they didn't care because they are blinded by jealousy. Can you imagine being this jealous of your child that you would actually go in their footsteps and redo something that is actually iconic, and you go and do the exact same thing? And Charles and Camilla are not like teenagers or young adults, that is just coming to grips with jealousy or just trying to grow into their own. I mean, which still would be really, really weird if somebody was cosplaying you that hard. But these people are 77 and 70. I guess Charles is 76 now, and Camilla is 77. And they are actually cosplaying Harry and Meghan. Can you imagine the level of jealousy that Charles and Camilla and William and Kate had when Harry and Meghan went on that Australian tour, and all of the just just iconic pictures and events happened, and they had what is just unable to achieve that. The level of jealousy it must be. As I just think back, and now that I have saw Charles and Camilla go to Australia and how they was just copying Harry and Meghan so hard, it is just getting your head around being raised by a parent like that. That's why I said Harry is so resilient to have a parent who is so jealous of you. And Charles just showed how jealous of Harry he really was when he is willing. They all in both Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace have a vision board with everything Harry and Meghan has done. And they are constantly watching them to see what they're doing so they can copy them. That is the weirdest thing. To me, it's a form of stalking. I just cannot get my head around it a lot of the time. Because I'm thinking, when you're in your 70s, aren't you settled by then? Aren't you comfortable in your own skin? Why would you still have the need to copy somebody? You're the king and the queen. Why are you copying? People should be copying you. You should be the trendsetter. You should be the one in the lead. But here you are copying your son. It's weird. It's weird to me, y'all. And my whole thing is this: you can say a lot of things about Queen Betty, about the proper queen. But one thing about her can be said is that she was a trend maker. She was a trend setter. She did Queen Betty. She did herself. She never went around copying anything else. No, she didn't copy Queen Marguerite or any of the other European royal, monarchs. She did she did herself. She was an original. But these people, these left behinds over here, they don't do anything but keep their eye on Montecito so they can copy. And like I said, this is the king and queen. And here they are coming down the steps of the Opera House in Australia, like Harry and Meghan. It's ridiculous. But I digress. Let's get back to these different articles of the British media continue to beg Harry and Meghan to come back or to be in a complete state of delusion. Now, I found this one also on GB News, and it says Prince Harry fumbles royal family olive branch as Duke of Sussex and Meghan publicly snub King Charles. Y'all know what they talking about? They're saying that Harry and Meghan fumbled the olive branch because Charles and William wished him a public birthday, happy birthday. But in return, Harry and Meghan did not wish the king a public happy birthday. And we all know that Harry and Meghan are not on social media. How would they go about doing that? I wonder. And my whole thing is, why do they care? Why do they care? Well, we all know why they care. It's because of the fact that they want Harry and Meghan back so bad. If they could mend this rift, it would already be mended already. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. It says Prince Harry has fumbled a public olive branch he received from members of the royal family. And we all know that just the day after they wished Harry a happy birthday, William was crying a cup load of to the tippy top of salty tears and running over to Tom Sykes to tell him that he only did it because he wanted it to be in conjunction with his father. And pretty much all he wanted to do was to be congruent with his father because he knew that he could not take the heat of what was to come if he hadn't wished Harry a happy birthday, and his father did. Because he knew the world media, it was going to explode. Because Harry is a global citizen, Harry is global. And everybody was talking about Harry's 40th birthday. It was huge. It was huge all over the world. And people from all over the world was on social media wishing Harry a happy birthday. And they knew right then if they didn't do anything, uh, they were going to be talked about, that they were going to be drugged, that they were going to have to suffer a lot of incoming criticism. So they went ahead on and did what they did. They wished Harry a happy birthday. But yet and still, these people want to say that somehow Harry fumbled the bag because he didn't wish Charles a happy birthday. Give me a break. It was not ever an olive branch. It was never meant to be an olive branch. It always was meant to be cover. Cover for William and cover for Charles. And that's it. I'm going to put this one up. And I found this one on that, I think it's Mint, which is an online magazine and an online newspaper. I think that's what they call themselves. And it says Prince William hesitates as Kate Middleton advocates for royal family healing. Now they saying it's Kate. It's Kate is the one who wants to heal the family. Now, I don't know about y'all, but the last time we heard from Kate, Kate was too busy lying about cancer to try to heal a rift. She was too busy trying to get in that door after William had embarrassed her and not put her name on the wreath at the cenotaph. And now they want us to believe that fakey Katie is out here doing everything that she can to heal the rift between Harry and William. They want to believe that, but we all know that this cannot be true because at the end of the day, Kate has to take care of Kate, and Kate is always going to take care of Kate. And I don't know exactly what's going on with Kate and William and between Kate and William, but it's something going on because I just saw an article. It was in the New York Post. You know, that's a Murdoch rag here in America. And it was saying that Kate and William are so in love. They're in love like teenagers. But yet and still, we just keep seeing some troubling signs there, like, William in this interview just airing out everything, airing out the fact that he don't be with his children that much, airing out the fact that Kate never had cancer, she only had precancerous cells, and pretty much sitting there with his legs crossed talking about all the stuff that he's gonna do, which is just basically stuff that Charles it has already done. Every time I say that and I think about that, I get so tickled with Tina Brown in that article that I covered about Tina Brown saying that he is a pretentious pinhead. That I just get so tickled because William is so freaking dumb. He is so dumb. And he's so dumb, he don't even know he's dumb. He's just that dumb. But I digress. I just get tickled every time I say that. But her own husband has aired her out to be a liar, a faker of cancer. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. But I don't think Kate is in the position to be trying to heal a rift between Harry and William when she has a rift at home that needs healing between her and William? Because it's definitely something going on there. Because your name has been left off of a reef that it has been consistently on ever since you got married to William, and all of a sudden this year it's not on there. It's something going on. And like I said, she needs to tend to that reef because it seems like it's getting bigger. I'm just saying. All right, let's go on with this article. It says Prince Harry has finally come to his senses after years of attacking the royal family on public forums. A royal family expert has claimed. Woo, all these experts who knows Harry's innermost, deepest feelings. I tell you, whew, wonder where they go to school to get that degree. It said the royal expert and biographer Hugo Vickers. I tell you, they have been using him of late a lot. Discussed the Duke of Sussex's spare paperback edition, noting that Harry is not updating before its re-release in paperback form speaks volume. And this is what they have hitched their wagon to. All their hopes, all their dreams of a reconciliation is on the back of the fact that Harry did not update Spare. This is what they're reading into it. And all these articles are spawning out of that. And what's so weird is all these articles are spawning out of that. And that was back in October. That was back in October. But yet and still, they are still holding on to hope. And Harry is just simply moved on. That's it. No, it ain't got no undertones to it. It ain't got no backhand meaning to it. It's just the fact that him and Meghan have decided to move on. That's why I didn't add anything to Spare. But they want to believe that it's an olive branch. They want to believe that it's his way of trying to heal the rift. It's this, it's that. When it's just as simple as what Harry said, we're moving on. That's it. Now, I'm going to put this one up. This was in Newsweek and it was written by Jack Royston. And we all know Jack Royston. And basically, what he is saying is that the name of the article is King Charles Should Bring Harry Back as a New Path Emerged, says Tina Brown. This is Downtown Tina Brown hits again. And she got that new news stack or whatever it is, and all she does on it, evidently she created that whole platform, that whole podcast, just to talk about Harry and Meghan. Because every time I hear from her, it's something about Harry or Meghan, or uh, some something about William and Charles associated with Harry and Meghan. Is this what her whole career is going to be about now? I guess so. And all these other people, she says something and then they write articles about what she said. But this is what she says. She says, Prince Harry may have a new pathway to return to royal life if King Charles III, top aide, retires. Royal biographer Tina Brown says. The Duke of Sussex get on notoriously bad with Sir Clive Alderton, who is described in his book Spare as weedy and arrogant. However, Brown suggests that King's private secretary may be eyeing up a potential retirement and said this could open the door for another look whether Prince Harry could still have a royal future. Now, you know what I said to that. How does all this help have all this power? I am I missing something? I don't get it. If I had somebody working for me, they wouldn't dictate to me if I was going to have a relationship with my son or daughter or not. Why does he have to retire in order for Charles to have a pathway back to having a relationship with his son? Am I missing something? Are these courtiers are that powerful to the point where they are the boss and the royal family are the ones who just are obedient to them? Megan kind of indicated that, and Harry kind of indicated that in their interview with Oprah. And Oprah questioned Harry about that. And Harry said, well, she has advisor. Talk about the queen. Because Oprah says she's the queen. She can do whatever she wants to do. And Harry kind of shyly, like he didn't really want to get into it, that he said that she gets advice. This is how she gets advice. But after reading this, it's something different here. Who is running who there? Because I know if I'm the king, I'm the queen, I'm running things. But why do I have to wait until somebody retire in order to reestablish a relationship with my son? That's crazy to me. And they act like this crap is normal. That is the craziest thing. It says, however, Brown suggests that the king's private secretary might be eyeing a potential retirement and said it could be an open door for another look at whether Prince Harry could still have a royal future. If Alton goes, it could create a new, friendlier path for negotiations with Harry to be given the security protection he seeks and to assume some curtailed version of his royal duties, she wrote in her Fresh Hellstack blog. And I believe her Fresh Hellstack blog is nothing but about Harry and Meghan. I'm just saying because I don't hear from her unless it has something to do with them. You know, that's my opinion. But am I missing something, y'all? Tell me what y'all think. What is going on here? Why does this man have to retire in order for Harry to have a role? Now I know Harry don't want a role, but can you tell me how twisted this family is? It is so twisted. And Harry kind of indicated, he kind of suggested in the Oprah interview that the queen is controlled by the courtiers. And this right here indicates, kind of, that Charles is controlled by the courtiers. Because I'm like, Oprah, you the king, you the queen, you do what you want to do. When do you have to wait till somebody retire? That is the craziest thing I have ever heard of. And let's go on. It said it could uh, present a great base saving for Meghan, who might realize by now that the dull demands of second division royalty is less onerous and grinding out serial rebranding flops. What? Wait a minute. When is Meghan grinding out our rebranding serial rebranding flops? What flops has Megan had? I don't get that, but that's what she wants to do. In her head, she wants to pay the fact that somehow Harry and Meghan have been so unsuccessful that they should want to come back. But we all know that they have not. But she wants to believe that Harry and Meghan are flops. So they should want to come back to, with Charles and William's foot on their neck. I'm just saying. Let's go on. It said enough with the feuds. Family, including this one, needs to stick together. William, whatever his abiding resentment towards Harry for his intemperate broadsiding and spare should now suck it up and let his father give Harry something to do. Beyond the negotiations of better police protection, Harry would also likely have to either drop his lawsuit against the British government or see it run its course. He is currently suing the Home Office, and then they go into that. It said Brown also suggests that the substances could be put to good use on overseas tours, some which have given the Royals a bumpy ride in recent years. William and Kate dread foreign tours that takes the princess away from the children and cut into William or his advisor's irritation calls him. Meantime, she wrote, basically, she calling William lazy. But my point is this, isn't that the job description for being a royal? To go on foreign tours, to promote the crown, to promote the to promote Britain. Isn't that your job? What are they talking about? That they don't want to go on foreign tours. They don't want to go on foreign tours because of the fact that they're not popular. They can't, William can't go to Ireland, which is part of the UK, without getting booed. Charles cannot go to any country in the Commonwealth without it being a problem. But they know Harry and Meghan can go into any country on this planet and be welcomed in. And that is what she's saying. She needs to stop because we know exactly what she's saying. And she goes on to say, so upload the lesser but important red carpet junkets onto the Sussexes, who, chastened by 5 years in the wilderness, would export some modern royal flair, especially to ex colonial trouble spots. And she goes on to say Brown is likely referring to the Commonwealth realms, countries outside of the UK, that count Charles as their king, a number of which have active debates on whether to cut ties with the monarchy. Basically, they want Harry and Meghan to bring in their shine to save them, because at the end of the day, everybody can see that since Elizabeth II was lowered down in that vault, that family has done nothing but circle the drain, and they don't even know how to save themselves. So they want Harry and Meghan to come in like Captains Saberho and make everything right for them again after they have used them, abused them, and kicked them out, really ran them out and made them run for their lives, and consistently still at this point planning stories on them. But yet and still, Tina Brown thinks that Harry should come back and save his family when they had no intention of saving him. Put his life, the life of his family, on the line, could have cared less, stop answering the phone. But now that it's them circling the drain, all of a sudden it's Harry. Nothing but Harry. It's ridiculous to me. And she goes on to talk about in 2022, William and Kate's tour in Jamaica, Belize, and the Bahamas was branded a disaster after hostility and PR mistakes. While in Australia in October, the King watched as the Australian senator accused him of genocide on the floor of the country's parliament. Harry in his book nicknamed Ultimate the Waltz. And then she just goes into why this is a good opportunity for Harry to be welcomed back into the fold. It's all about getting Harry back into the fold, trying to save that family from itself. And my whole thing is when Harry was in there, they didn't listen to him. They would not listen to anything that he had to say. They were just absolutely hostile towards him. And now all of a sudden they're begging him to come back, begging him. And I just love this for them. I really, really do. It is so heartwarming to watch everything Harry has said come true. Harry said that they were going to regret what they did to his wife, and here it is in real time, them understanding they have fumbled the bag. But all I can say is this: they can just regret all they want to. Meghan Markle will not be coming back over there. You can tell Meghan is done, done. She is done. And who could blame her? Who absolutely could blame her? And it is almost like putting toothpaste back into the toothpaste tube to get Megan to go back over there. And we all know that's an impossible task. And they can dream on, Tina Brown, because that family made its bed. Now it can sleep in it, for all I am concerned. And I hope Harry feels the same way. All right, moving on. I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: the royal family, royalists, and the British media all say for the monarchy to survive, Harry and Meghan cannot be popular. Harry and Meghan shouldn't be successful. Photographs make headlines, be philanthropic, give to charities, or breathe. They basically saying that the monarchy is dead. And that's true. And this is a picture of a panel that this particular squatty put together. And in each of the panel, it has like Jeremy Vine and Tina Brown and Tessa, and I forgot the other dude that cries all the time over Harry. I'm telling you, he cries real tears about Harry. And basically they're saying that they want Harry Brett back. They want the Stardust back. They want the Markle Sparkle. And they talking about how much they miss him and what a good person he was, and on and on and on and on. Y'all fumbled the bag. They're not coming back. And if it means that Harry and Meghan has to fail for that monarchy to succeed, what a fragile 1,000-year-old institution it is. Because was the fifth in line holding it up? Because it looks that way. I had a tweet. I think it was like my podcast, maybe two podcasts back, that said everything that people, the British people loved, or people in general loved about the British monarchy, it's gone. And it had a picture of Diana. It had a picture of the Queen, the proper Queen, Elizabeth II, and it had a picture of Harry and Meghan. That is the reason why it's dying. The Queen passed away, but they did everything that they could to reject Diana and Harry and Meghan. And they have lived to regret it. I don't get it. But yes, that's the way they feel. But too bad. Too sad, too bad. That's what we used to say I was a kid. We used to say too sad, too bad. Because Harry and Meghan is not going to dim their light for those people over there. They don't deserve it. And they definitely not going to go back over there so William and Charles can put their foot on their neck. I'm just saying. All right, up next is the Daily Express, and their plea for Harry and Meghan to come back is in this particular article I found, and it says Prince Harry and Meghan waiting in the wings to fill glitz vacuum. Now, in order for it to be a vacuum of glitz, wouldn't it be that William and Kate and Charles and Camilla has none? I mean, a vacuum means empty. And they want Harry and Meghan to come back and bring the sparkle, to bring the shine. They miss it. And they cannot hide it anymore. And it's in article after article after article. This is our third article that we have discussed in this podcast, and it's even more. It's ridiculous. But let's get into this one. It says Prince Harry and Meghan Markle waiting in the wings to fill glitz vacuum. There is a glamour threat posed by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who has a knack for bringing showbiz flair, claim royal author. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has a glamorous knack for combining showbiz with do-gooding and are waiting in the wings to fill in a potential gap created by the royal family, an expert has claimed. Now, where is the gap? Who created that gap? Because nobody has left that family except Harry and Meghan. So it must be a Harry and Meghan gap. It's a gap that they didn't know that they were going to have. You know, one thing about that family, they have no self awareness because William and Kate really thought that all they had to do was to do what Harry and Meghan does and to dress like Harry and Meghan. And all of a sudden, they were going to take the mantle of the shine. And it has not worked out that way. And I'm telling you, they are fading fast over there. When I said they're circling the drain, I'm telling you they just about to slip down it. And the people in the media are saying, come on, y'all, do something about it. All right, let's go on. It says it comes as Prince Charles, who's forced to attend a star-studded event, royal premiere of Gladiator 2 alone, as Queen the horse Camilla recovers from chest infection. However, still looking handsome on the red carpet, fans praise the king's appearance as he mingled with A-lister stars on November the 13th. Well, they saying that he was boring. They said it's a vacuum of glitz. I saw that premiere of Charles, and that was the boringest mess I had saw. And it says royal historian and expert Dr. Tessa Dunlap claimed that there is no retro glamour, no tinsel, no tiara on the red carpet, which she believes is missing and which could be filled by two royals. She told the Mirror the royal family might think that they are above such glitzy gimmicks. That would be a mistake. After all, waiting in the wings are ex royals, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, instinctively glamorous with a bundle of razzmatazz that the Californian couple has an effortless knack for combining showbiz gloss with public do-gooding. Mm. The expert added that it is a vacuum at the top, and the problem with vacuums is that they invite all sort of unwanted intruders. Wonder what she mean by that. The raw machine clearly decided that they can compensate for a depleted public presence with relentless philanthropic I guess he was talking about on ITV. I don't know. I guess he's talking about William and Camilla's documentary that nobody watched. I guess that's what she's talking about. Expert referred to the royal charity initiatives, including, yes, that's what it is, Prince William homeless documentary, claiming that the public would tolerate a bit of charitable hectoring, but only if it's accompanied with a large dabble of fairy tale glamour, and they have none. They have none. William and Kate is so boring, and Charles and Camilla are old and boring. And when Charles and Camilla was young, they were still boring. And it's just ridiculous. It says, speaking of previous red carpet appearance by the royals, the experts believe glamour was missing. That fabulous No Time to Die Bond premiere when Camilla and Kate waltzed out in a haze of designer sequence felt like a world away. And my whole thing is nobody didn't care then. Who cared? Nobody cared. It said Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped down as, oh Lord, they have to put that in. My whole thing is they are missing the shine. They are missing Harry and Meghan's shine. And they know that those people over there has none. But this is what they are forgetting is this is what they wanted. Harry and Meghan just didn't get up one day and decide to pack their clothes up and move to Montecito. This is what Charles and William wanted. They wanted the spotlight on them and their wives because they felt that they could carry the ball. Harry was just, he was just an accessory. He was not one of the major players in this thing, and especially not his American wife who just showed up on the scene. She was just a flash in the pan. She really didn't have the shine. She really wasn't the Diana. She wasn't that, although they feared she was because that's another reason they got rid of her. But they thought all they have to do is to do what Harry and Meghan did, and they would be the stars of the show, especially William and Kate, because they worked overtime to get Harry and Meghan out of the picture. And now that they have the spotlight on them, they are slowly disappearing in the light. They are. Kate had to get off the world stage because she was just embarrassing herself. And William, we all know what's going on with poor little William. He is absolutely shrinking. He looks like he is on the pipe. And it is just, you know, I hate to take pleasure in watching it, but if they were better people, I wouldn't have no pleasure in it. But I'm petty and I'm messy and I enjoy it. I'm sorry. I do because they are horrible, horrible people. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this is what GB News had the nerve. They are so starved for anything that is Meghan. Do you not know they posted this? Meghan Markle's comments on box hair dye labeled tone deaf. You remember when Megan was talking about she made a speech at the launch party of Katie Lee, her hair colorist, and Megan has invested in her company of hair products. And Megan made a speech and she commented that during the pandemic she used box hair dye. And not only did GB News make a post, but also wrote a story about it, talking about Megan was tone deaf because of her comments about box hair dye. I mean, it is ridiculous. And this squatty came up under that and said this. This is the dumbest story yet. Did you also write a story about what Megan's farts smell like? This is how starved they are for content when it comes to Meghan. Meghan has served up dust every day, all day, on the constant to these people. They are on the floor scrounging for scraps and crumbs. And they came up with this. It is so funny to me. This is why they just want Harry and Meghan to come back so they can have some content, at least content that somebody will read, because nobody's reading anything about William and Kate. They are boring. You can't, every time they write a story about William and Kate, go to the engagement on that story. I mean, people don't engage. They might have 40 comments. I mean, nobody engages. But write a story about Harry or Meghan or Harry and Meghan, you're into the thousands when you come to comments, engagements with that story. William and Kate's stories can't stay above the fold for more than 2 hours before they're falling off of the whole page when it comes to the online Daily Mail or the online daily whatever, because everything over there is daily. But they're falling off the page because of the fact that they get no engagement. So I'm telling you, it's so funny. I thought this squatty was hilarious about this. All right, we're going to put this up. And this particular post is about, well, it's a response to Rebecca English's article she has in the Daily Mail today. And basically, she is talking about Sophie's and Kate's friendship, how close they have gotten. And they also went into why Sophie, and Kate doesn't understand what happened when it comes to Meghan, because they just welcomed her with open arms and just was so loving and just so there for her. And basically, Megan just spurned them. She rejected them. And they just don't know what went wrong. And this particular squatty, I'm going to put this up. This particular squatty said this on this subject. It says, so the two witches of Windsor have run blightingly to Becky to clean up their images of being unwelcoming and cold. The highbrow hippie event with Megan surrounded by her friends of many years standing really has them shook, huh? And it does. Because they know that it doesn't really look good, that it's not looking like Megan was the problem. It's looking like they were the problem. Because Megan has friends. She has lifelong friends. She continues to make friends. But yet and still, when she was in that family, she was miserable. She was isolated. She was unwelcome. But now they want to try to continue to rewrite history and try to get us to believe that no, 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 no. What we were seeing in real time, like at the Queen's funeral, we did not see that. Kate and Sophie was always welcoming to Megan. It was her. It was her who spawned them, who rejected them. It was not Sophie and Kate. They're warm and welcoming. We can see that. I guess they think we don't have two eyes to see that they are the coldest bunch of witches that it is. But this particular squatty says this. I find it funny how Sophie is so manipulative and performative, and all the sycophants eat it all up. Sophie is here busy generating her some good headlines, and they are addressing it as a caring hand. Only when millions are watching, the secret weapon is on the move. I don't know what that means. But we all know that every opportunity that Sophie gets to try to highlight herself, because she always, like I said, she's always holding putting her hand on William's back. She's always putting her hand, trying to act like she is a sympathetic person. But in actuality, she is only trying to secure her place in the future because she knows that William and Kate are the future, and she's just trying to secure her place there. And it is sickening to watch when she is in the presence of William. She is consistently brown nosing, consistently bootlicking, consistently just deprecating herself. just I'm telling you, she's just almost deprecating on herself to accommodate him. If his shoelace came undone, she would be on her knees to tie it. It is just that bad. But we're going to get into this article. And the name of the article is The Sweet Sisterly Gesture That Shows Sophie Wessex Has Become Kate's Wing Woman. And as Rebecca English reveals, a source of strength during cancer treatment. Yeah, okay. It says it was sweet, spontaneous gesture of sisterhood that told us more about the future of the royal family than any public pronouncement could ever. Leaving the Remembrance Sunday ceremony last weekend, the Duchess of Edinburgh placed her hand gently on the Princess of Wales' back and, in doing so, publicly cemented her role as Catherine's wing woman. Well, Catherine needs a wing woman because she doesn't have any friends. And the one friend she got, we're going to talk about her later. But anyway, yeah, so this is the kind of nonsense they're coming in. And knowing too, Sophie is just trying to secure her place, period. And it goes on to say, and yet there is no competition between them, as was sometime claimed in earlier days of Diana and Sarah. Both respect each other's work. When does Kate work? When does Kate work? Now I got to give it to Sophie. Sophie works, but Kate not so much. And they are mutually supportive to each other's approach to their royal roles. They go on to say that their relationship has also enabled both royals to keep a healthy distance from internal family politics. Interestingly, I'm told both repeatedly reached out to Meghan when she joined the royal family. Sophie, particularly, so as the late Queen valued her wise and steady counsel. Okay. Then Sophie get in some trouble with a blind sheik or something. Y'all tell me about it in the comments. I think she did. Was that really wise? I'm just saying. And then she also got caught saying a whole lot of stuff, at the side of her neck about the royal family. What about wise counsel then? I'm just saying, don't make me drag up your dirty laundry, Sophie. I'm just saying. Let's discuss it in the comments, y'all. And they said they continue to do so even after the Duchess of Sussex first publicly voiced her unhappiness in 2019. These people need to stop. They absolutely need to stop. But I want to put this last one up because I got to absolutely talk about this woman who was Kate's friend and the last friend that we have saw Kate with because haven't saw Kate have a friend. And I'm going to post this because this was in the Daily Fail. And it says, well, actually, there is one other friend that Mumbles would like us to forget all about. And this is the particular article that was in there. It said, oh, madam, Kate Middleton's pal who run Posh Sex Club reveals saucy ongoings, including 50 Shades Dungeon with special saddle. All I can say is, what if this was Meghan? What if this was Meghan? It would be just relentless for the next forever. Meghan's friends are professionals. Kate's friends are madams. Enough said. All right, y'all, discuss it in the comments. And if they mess with Harry and Meghan, we will eat their face off. Bye.